Hey folks, Tom Gentile here. While most eyes are glued to the NVIDIA-backed CoreWeave IPO, something wild happened that slipped under the radar. The Newsmax IPO surged 2,200% in just 2 days, starting at 10, opening around 14, and closing around $230 with a peak near $280 a share intraday. That caught a lot of folks off guard. The market cap briefly exploded into the $20 to $30 billion range, rivaling cable giants like Fox and Warner Brothers. So the question is, are we witnessing a birth of a new meme stock era, or is this just a one-off? Let's dive in. Okay, welcome back to the channel. To understand this better, let's take a look at how IPOs have been behaving over the last few years. After the 2021 boom, IPOs really slowed down. But even in a quiet market, we still see huge first-day gains, Newsmax being the latest. During the 2020-2021 surge, the average first-day return on IPOs was about 40%. But here's the part that matters. Big first-day winners often crash hard. Take Beyond Meat or DWAC as examples. Despite both having massive debuts, they both also ended up crashing roughly 94% from their highs. Now, this isn't volatility. This is a clear historical pattern that's worth paying attention to. So what does a move like that actually tell us? Well, it's not about the price. It's about the pattern and how often we've seen it end the same way. Remember, this tiny media company generated about $171 million in revenue last year. It posted a $72 million loss. It only pulls in 200 to 300,000 viewers nightly. That's about 10% of what Fox brings in. Now, at yesterday's peak, however, it traded at greater than Fox's valuation at more than 100 times sales. Now, I don't want to dig deep into every financial metric, but I always want the broad strokes clearly laid out. Revenues, losses, audience size, just enough to know whether I'm dealing with a real business or a straight up meme play. And Newsmax, well, it checks every single meme stock box. So what we've seen here is textbook behavior. Retail FOMO, greater fool theory, and political hype all rolled into one. DJT still holds the title as the original Magna meme stock, but Newsmax really fits the mold. I mean, if you look at Reddit and StockTwits, you're seeing traders piling in. StockTwits was even calling it the new GME. But here's the thing, even with GME and AMC, with all the chaos they caused in the last couple of years, they weren't being bid up as aggressively as Newsmax has been. For instance, AMC topped out at about 70 times sales at its peak. Newsmax blew right past that. So what's the broader market impact? Short term is that Newsmax may have just ignited retail enthusiasm once again for IPOs. But let's be honest, this one's a clear outlier. We're not seeing yet other meme stocks going up in the mania. I mean, Newsmax just has that right mix of retail emotion. It's got a tiny float. It's got timing. It's got political buzz. Everything needed to create explosive momentum. And the huge part is really the float. It's only 7.5 million shares. So when supply is that tight, it doesn't take much to get a stock like Newsmax flying. Looking ahead, let's look at some key IPOs to closely watch here for the rest of 2025. You've got Circle. That's a crypto, and that's also the issuer of USDC. Klarna, that's that buy now, pay later fintech giant. Chime, which is digital banking. Databricks and Stripe. And if IPO activity picks up more broadly, that could actually be a good sign for the market because companies usually don't go public when they expect a weak economy. Now, if all this feels familiar, it probably is because patterns like this always end up at the same way. Meme stock patterns spike up and then they drop once the hype wears off. Right now, all we can do about this is either buy or ignore the stock. But once short selling opens up, and especially when option trading begins, we're going to have a lot more ways to approach stocks like this. So until then, don't be the last one holding the bag. Bottom line, it's been fun to watch, but it's probably not going to end well. What do you think? Do you think Newsmax IPO is going to be sustainable, or do you think it's going to implode like the past meme stocks? Drop your comments below. I'd like to know what you think. I'll keep a close eye out when option trading starts, and I'll let you know when that happens. This could be the moment that turns this meme stock into a real trading opportunity.